Welcome back, everyone, to the VALORANT Challengers North America Mid-Season Cup. Got to see a wicked set in our other quarterfinal match with TSM getting knocked out by the hands of M80 in a 3-map series. Now, headed on to Turtle Troop going up against Blinn. Sarah, Dan, and Gomper is back again. Dan, this is super exciting because it's a team that we know a lot about in comparison to a team that's just hopping into Challengers, and it's super exciting to see what they've been able to pull off so far.
It is pretty interesting for multiple reasons. It's a Blinn that when we thought about collegiate, we were not thinking about Blinn, we were thinking about Winthrop. And this is a team that actually has won against Winthrop pretty recently on CVAL. So they kind of look better than Winthrop, the one and only collegiate team that we had before for the regular season. And now things are changing. Now it's a Blinn that won the first match against SAD. They're going to face this map of Turtle Troop, and a Turtle Troop as well that came up with an upset on that week number 5, winning against M80, the only team that has been able to take them down. So I think there's a lot to talk about for this side of Blinn and the expectations here. People are just getting to know them. People are going to favor the team that they know the most, the individual players that they know the most on the other side. And this sort of team, with a team like Blinn, has been getting these results. As we see, this is the team that made it through promotion. The only team that made it through promotion. It was Thinking Man being relegated, and then Blinn is taking their spot. And the fact that they won against SAD is already such a good indication of the potential that they have. And I want to see how it's able to unravel today.
Dude, not only that, but when one collegiate team goes out, another one goes in. And Blinn, even in the open qualifiers, had been such a dominant team. The only issue being they couldn't pass, that last game that really did give them the opportunity to move forward within Challengers. And now they're here. They're able to, again, show the skill that they have presented already to the group. And I feel like a lot of people might put this team as the underdogs, but in all reality, this team has never been an underdog. This team has constantly been dominant, just like everyone else. They have a bad game, they have a bad day, and I honestly do truly believe that this team will provide for everybody watching.
I mean, maybe in the past they haven't been the underdog, but I think heading into this, I think it's definitely safe to say that Blinn will be the underdog, but that's okay. It's exciting. This team is making their debut here. There is definitely some skill that we've seen been kicking around these tournaments here, Dan. So even if they're the underdogs, I'm excited to see what they can pull off. And the underdog can always pull off a surprise.
And it's a little big match coming through for Okeanos. Okeanos is, if you don't know about Blinn, if you haven't been following collegiate, Okeanos is a name that you've heard before, and you're wondering, where have I heard this name before? He used to play for Core for a little bit, but before that, he was actually the one who last year took Turtle Troop to be one of the teams that today we see in Challengers. So he used to be part of Turtle Troop. He's going to be playing against them today, and a lot has changed since then. It is Okeanos that before was only playing that initiator role, and today we see him as that fire duelist, being the difference maker, being the one who secures the rounds for the team. And I feel like he's gonna be looking for vengeance today.
Oh, 100%. But hey, that's what makes it fun. That makes it interesting, right? We're talking about the changes that Okeanos has seen, but let's talk about Turtle Troop and a change that we are going to be seeing headed into today's match. Something that we have to be noting pulling up the roster is we are going to see a substitution coming in for today's match. I mean, Gomper, sometimes that's how it all happens. Turtle Troop, we've seen that the team's capable of doing good things here, so I'm excited to see how they're going to be performing with Silence on the squad for today.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm super excited for this too. Like, as much as I emphasize Blinn and being a super strong team, I think Turtle Troop is pretty much up there as well. Turtle Troop being one of the teams that were able to bring so many upsets throughout Challengers. And not only that, they've improved so quickly throughout the season. And I think it goes to show just the amount of effort and work that this team has put into their compositions, through their play styles, who they want to bring to that limelight. And I truly do believe we're going to see that. They've had questionable compositions with the deadlock. Am I afraid that's going to happen again? Absolutely. But that's okay. Turtle Troop is a breed of their own, and I'm going to let them live because they cook, and they cook well.
What is so interesting about the Turtle Troop squad is that they are so silly. When you look at the matches that they've had, they were undefeated if it wasn't because they lost against Winthrop. And that was not something that anybody was expecting. They lost that match. And everybody started questioning, where's Turtle Troop? Are they good? Are they bad? What's going on? And then they went against M80 on the last week. So it's kind of a weird balance between the two that I feel like they need to find. Or maybe we see today that the kryptonite for Turtle Troop is the collegiate teams.
We'll have to see. But we got to talk about just the highlights of this team as well. So when I'm looking at Silex joining, it's nice because he has experience playing with Corey. And Corey has been somebody throughout Challengers that we've gotten to see a lot of different looks from. All of them, Dan, I'd like to say pretty good. So I'm excited to see Corey, what he's going to be able to show us ahead of today's elimination match.
This guy's on the Sentinel, he's on the Initiator, he's on the Duelist, he plays it all and plays it to such a high level. Oh yeah, also Controller, as we get to see from this Brimstone. But I feel like this, and I've heard him say on interviews and on social media, this is just the way he's always been. He's not the one that's gonna fight for, I want to play the Duelist, I want to be the one who gets all the attention. He's willing to do whatever it takes for the win, for the team to get the win, and that's exactly what happened on that regular season. On those 5 weeks, this is the kind of flexibility that we saw for Corey. There were, as Gompress was saying, some kind of questionable compositions being run by them, and they started going back to the comp for going to, okay, Corey is such a good race, and it's funny as I say, as we see the Neon, but he's such a good race, let's just put him on the Raze instead of the Neon on Lotus, which was something that was happening pretty constantly. He was not getting a lot of value on this Neon, and that's fine. They go into the race, they look like a completely different team, and this is something that he's going to continue to do. Just play around what the team needs and get the wins that way.
And that's the thing too. The beauty of having a player that can play everything is that they also know how to play around it. So Corey taking on the role as the Smokes, as the Initiator, as the Duelist, can really allow those roles to take on their own part and then emphasize it with their own gameplay, right? Playing on the Initiator and allowing whoever's playing Duelist at that moment to really shine, playing Controller, and then being able to set up the Initiator for those set plays so that the Duelist can shine. And I think Corey, that's the reason why they're highlighted. It's not just because they can play these roles, it's because they can do it well, and you're going to see that today in the gameplay.
I just still think it's funny that we're like, okay, can we get Corey highlights? And like somebody wants to be cool, and it was like, all right, well, we actually have Corey on about 6 different agents. So all right, include them all, which is just correct.
Exactly.
Really shows what kind of a Swiss Army knife Corey is going into this. I'm excited to see more from Corey and the rest of the squad, and Blinn going on in the mid-season cup ahead of today's match. Of course, at the map select, the map picks and bans. Trying to get ahead of myself and say agents here. We're going to be kicking it off with the classic Turtle Troops Gomps. They'll be taking us to Ascent.
I like Ascent. It's a map I kind of listen. Okay, no, not like I don't.
Back.
If Ascent showed up in the map pool when I was playing comp, I would alt F4. But in this case in particular, this is a Turtle Troop map, right? Throughout the season, I'm going to say the season, not throughout any other tournaments that they have played so far, but throughout the season, Turtle Troop has put on a performance when it comes down to Ascent, and I truly do believe that today is the day for them as well to do the same thing. I mean, again, picking this, feeling pretty confident in it, not to mention, I mean, they have a very, very slow play on a map like Ascent, which I feel like, you know, for Blinn, who does like to get very, very aggressive, very explosive, I do think this is such a great counter for this first map to start off. I think Turtle Troop is going to play so well with the explosivity that Blinn is going to set aside for this team once they do reach that attacking side. So they're going to have some time to settle in, you know, while Blinn is on the defense and the attack. I think that's when things are really going to start to get heavy.
As you get to the chance to look at these 3 maps of Send, Split, and Bind, this might be one of those series where you get to see Corey play 3 different agents. And I've been thinking about it for a little bit, and I just realized, I just had a vision, and it is that Corey is the victor of Tier 2. This guy just plays everything.
You know what? I'm definitely willing to give him the crown on that one. I don't think that there's been anyone who has flexed as much as Corey in any of this, but going back to the Ascent, and it's someone else that we actually get to see flexing in a weird way. Gomps, you're talking about weird agent compositions when we see Turtle Troop. You're talking about the Deadlong that I can't remember if you're a fan or not a fan of, but Ascent is one that if we see true to the past, it is something that Turtle Troop have liked to go for at her picking up that Deadlock.
I question it. I think, listen, if it's Ascent, stop and think for a second. there's a reason why we have not changed the meta. I'm just going to say it. Controversial? Maybe. Call me so. I'm just going to say it. There's a reason why it works. There's a reason why it keeps popping up. There's a reason why everybody likes to play it. It's because it's just the simplest and easiest way to not put any more stress on yourself to get the victory. And I think overall, like, it provides everything you need on a map like Ascent. Deadlock, personally, it can go wrong many ways, but some people like to get a little quirky with it. So I'm just gonna
So the thing about this composition that they play in Ascent for Turtle Troop is that they actually don't play the solo Sentinel as Deadlock. They actually play a double Sentinel with a Cypher as well. And I don't think this is something that we're going to be seeing today. First, it's hard to get the value out of this Deadlock, because even if you have all your util down, you have your Deadlock on one of the sites, you're still going to have to watch and play for contact, because a slow play for contact on the other side, that might be the reason why you get taken down. So you're always going to have those individual players watching the angle, watching that choke, and trying to get the rounds to go your way in that scenario. So it puts that extra pressure. And on the other side, it is because Turtle Troop, as we talked about, they're going to have a sub today. And when you're playing this weird composition that your sub most likely has never played in, you want to, I think, put into a comfort spot, play what everybody's more comfortable with, and play into, as Gomper was saying, the reason why we have a meta on this map.
I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. I'm like, you were bringing up a great point with the fact that there is the sub of Silix going to be on the end of Turtle Troop, because that actually does have the potential to be changing things up, just to make sure, you want to make sure that it's a cohesive team. You can't just bring somebody in, play something like this double Senti Deadlock, and just be like, all right, deal with it, and kind of leave them out to flunder. Because this is a best of one. You have to make sure that you're going to be good on that. And I'm really intrigued then, just specifically with it, with Turtle Troop, it has still been successful if they kind of want to make them adjust. I don't know. Gomps, on the end of Blinn Esports, they definitely have the experience. They're kind of going to be sticking probably to traditional. So I definitely like how this could match up for them on our first map.
Yeah, and for Blinn too, the thing, I talked about it briefly with the explosivity, and I think especially if you have a Deadlock, like that could be a good cue, right, to kind of shut that down if that's what they want to play with. Again, having the sub is definitely not ideal, but I'm not going to say no to whatever they're going to run, what composition we're going to see. I'm going to give them some leeway there, especially with how Blinn likes to forcefully push themselves onto site when things do go wrong. And I feel like we are going to see a lot of that, especially coming out of Okeanos. We know exactly how they like to play and how much of a star duelist they are. So I'm super excited to see how this matchup goes along, especially with a collegiate team that does not get enough credit.
I mean, hey, we don't have to theorize any longer. We can head into our agent select, see exactly what these two teams are thinking ahead of our first matchup over on Ascent. See if Turtle Troop are going to go something a little bit more traditional. No, Dan, they're sticking to the Deadlock. They don't care. They're going for it.
Hey, look, to be fair, this is what won them the map against M80. And as we always put M80 at the very best of what we have right now in Challengers, if it worked against M80, surely, right, guys? It's going to work against Blinn, the team that is we're just getting to learn about, the team that has been playing collegiate. Or I'm saying, and my hot take here is that we're about to see why Turtle Troop, their kryptonite is going to be the collegiate teams.
Ooh, okay. I like the hot takes coming out here, Gomps. We already had your hot take ahead of this Deadlock and everything else, but how are you feeling the Deadlock up against a more traditional comp on the end of Blinn?
Hey, they haven't lost. So that's my take. I don't know. I guess they're cooking, and what they're cooking, it smells good, but it also has like some flavor that I've never had before. Like, it's exotic, and I guess that's what we're doing right now. I like exotic.
Gomper's dropped her hot take. She doesn't want to double down on it. It's totally fine. We'll have to see what Uber and Wyatt think ahead of these Goms and this match, and head on over to them for Ascent.
Thank you very much to our esteemed desk there. And look, it's fair enough to cast a little bit of doubt on this Deadlock comp, but I present to you Exhibit A.
Okay.
Loud's Deadlock comps in Americas.
Yeah, what about it?
Well, they were pretty booty butt cheeks, and then they weren't. Lotus especially.
You're right.
Lotus especially, they managed to make. And I just want to remind everyone that this is the comp and the map that they 13-5'd M80 when they beat them 2-1 over that series. I think in like week 5. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
when they toppled M80 right from the top of that group here. So it is a known quantity, but I think this Blinn team is pretty good. From what I've seen, I mean, this team has come up through Premier, through relegations, into Challengers. They just 2-0'd Winthrop recently in CVAL. And CVAL's not just like some random tournament. It is the official collegiate VALORANT tournament run by Riot Games. They've made their way into the top 8 of that tournament, beating Winthrop on the way there. They might be the uncrowned best collegiate team in America as far as we know. They look very, very good. I still think that this is going to be a huge challenge. Turtle Troop are probably the best team in Group B. At least they were as of the end of that first split.
Turtle Troop started really slow. It was actually a loss to Winthrop that kicked them into high gear. I remember after that seeing the players post about how they felt that was just totally unacceptable for them. And at the time, frankly, I feel the same way because this roster is stacked. They should be one of the top teams. And that loss fell so below my expectations, community expectations, and their expectations. After that, they stepped it up week by week, getting better and better. And by week 5, beating M80 on 2 maps, 13-5, 13-5. They looked incredible at that point. But in that game against M80, it was Weeded who was really showing up, top fragging on the Omen 2 times on the maps that they won, and isn't here today. Needed to be replaced by a sub. Right. Silex is definitely, he's always somehow the 6th man for every team that needs him. I've seen him sub in so many times in the past. So listen, he's a goated bench player. I'll give him that for sure. But he has massive shoes to fill here.
Yeah, we did obviously posting a lot on Twitter with the face changer. Just hasn't been able to change it back and has been seeking surgical options since then. So we wish him a speedy recovery. And then he can make his way back to the competitive circuit. But again, we see Ada on the Deadlock here. And it's funny. Deadlock seems so powerful, not on the defensive side of the map, but on the attack, because she can single-handedly dismantle post plants. By cutting off one of those retake routes, making it very, very hard for the defending team to get back in. So that's something we want to observe here on this first half.
So there's some early pressure B main from Turtle Troop. All of that just to keep some players occupied there while they go for this 4-1 hit. But look at this push from Blinn. Totally catches out Stellar on that rotate. And I love the discipline there, just putting the smoke down, running away.
I mean, Corey got chunked down to 16 HP at the start of the round, so he could not watch Catwalk. Blinn did such a good job of identifying that opportunity to take way more map than they should have. And I'm assuming Corey is saying, hey guys, I can't watch mid. They could be up mid, but they were still not ready for it there. Stella got caught. And now we are into the post plant. Spaz
just gotta
going to work on the wall. Yeah. Kind of giving away their position here, but they're expected to be coming from tree either way. 5-player retake here for Blinn. It's a good situation to be in, but they're being slowed up. And the paranoia from heaven allows Ada to find a freebie. And Monty's down at half HP. This is far from done for the defenders. They do drop in. Teague there on top of the box now. Touching down. Ada going to be waiting for him though. Into the smoke goes Teague, finds one. Ada gets out of the smoke. I love that rotation, but it's going to be all down to B-Dog. Patient tapping away. Can he find Monty? Half defused and the rest. Okeana's going to shut B-Dog down and get Blinn the pistol.
What a clutch Sheriff one tap there. If he didn't hit that, Monty was absolutely going down. B-Dog had the perfect crosshair placement to hit the shot. The reaction time there is so sick from Blinn's duelists. I mean, Okeana's a very experienced player, has been around in the Tier 2 scene, trying to rise up the ranks for a long time, and perhaps this Blinn roster will be the one to do so. They've had some solid results so far. Beating SAD 2-1 is nothing to scoff at. SAD were really impressive during the regular season, and already out of the mid-season cup at the hands of Blinn.
Mike here knows there's a bit of action in B main awaiting them. Okeanos goes to the Marshal in this round. And there's a ping on B-Dog. The Jet spotted out in B main, gives away the game entirely. Mike, they're not able to punish. There is a cross, and B-Dog's able to capitalize on that position. Gets up to Logs, deals with Monty. Okeanos, though, going to be cut off by that deadlock wall. But Mike is a stalwart anchor on the site. eventually brought down by B-Dog. And with 2 players left, and at least a Spectre recovered, Turtle Troop get the plant.
Okeanos damaged a little bit as well. Teague only has a Sheriff. This is potentially doable. B-Dog wanted to take a risk. He had the dash activated. Can't be mad at him for that, to try and even the odds. And now it's all on Corey, the man who plays every role for this squad.
Can he be the victor here? Forced away by the Marshall, and Spaz will clean him up. Can't blame B-Dog for that timing. I like that he pushes that Speedway early, Wyatt, because it's probably earlier than there can be a reflank from B main.
Yeah, and there's certainly a possibility he gets that shot up there, gets a headshot, and can dash away. It's possible, right? I mean, he's low on HP. You got to take a risk there. So some damage done from Turtle Troop, and they, with that plant down, are able to get a little bit of cash.
Yep, throw us back to that one. I mean, Turtle Troop got hit so hard, they got sent back 2 weeks in time. That's brutal.
to relive their glory of beating M80 at the very least. It'll give them some confidence now that they've transported back to the future.
Love that.
They've got that absolutely maxed out buy right now. All heavy armors, every piece of utility.
2 lit up here. Over on the A main side, Teague also will be revealed by the 0 point. Okay, now do we get a player inserted here in B main? Yeah, it might be Mike just falling back to that corner position or playing on this corner right here instead.
Yeah, off that turret contact.
They have an out drone. They're not going to use it to force Mike off this. Oh, the turret takes contact and Mike takes the head of B-Dog. Going to be traded out here. Everyone lit up though. Monty with the Ares. Very base weapon selection here. And are going to be seen coming there from Speedway. Lit up. Here's the swing from Monty. Not quick enough. Superior weaponry of Turtle Troop prevailing so far. Down to 3 now up Blinn. Spaz only good for the 1, and it's Okeanos with a Vandal at least on the wrong side of the shut door in Market. And there is a way in, of course. The trip, though, is going to be an issue until it's removed. Great spam, though. Okeanos will be an easy pick-off for Adder as he rounds him through Market.
How does Adder already have his ult? How did that happen? I just noticed that. That's pretty crazy, but I suppose he does have 4 kills. He must have gotten the spike down a couple times, something. But he's got that one ready to go, and is better with it than any deadlock I have seen in a pro game. Sorry, Sodhawk. Somehow Adder's accuracy with this ult is like 90%. It's insane. I say that and watch him just giga whiff in this round. But listen, at least up until this point. Also of note, Okeanos has picked up the off and he's posted up in mid where Turtle Troops seem to be headed.
Take flight.
Alduran's going to push him off the angle briefly. That's cleared. Okeanos now backs away. Can't escape. Perfect use of that Aldrone. There it is. Another clean hit. He got it. Can't do anything about it. That is a free kill for Adder. Spaz straight into Shelob's web. And B-Dog's going to be able to now make his way through tree. It's Teague caught alone on the site. Teague did not know what to do about the fact that that player was caught inside the cocoon.
Over there.
Caught out in the open and brought down. Very clean from Turtle Troop.
He always gets it. Listen, I'm pissed when that happens to me in TDM. Can only imagine how that feels when you're in a pro game.
Well, like, you can shoot it, but
away.
It's just so dangerous, right? You're just very vulnerable.
Yeah, if Spaz tries to break that there, they're just going to burst onto him. And
I think
he'll go down
he
as
tried to throw a 0 point to interrupt the ability. I don't even know if that works, but I mean, it didn't take anyway.
Finished.
Mike.
Good shots.
Nicely done. Linking up once more here with Monty, but there's no chance for a defuse. Just here to do some damage on the way out. And there it is. Odin will clatter to the ground from the lifeless fingers of Monty, and Turtle Troop have even up the game.
Siling's going to recover that Odin as well. Toss it over to Stellar. More than likely.
Or T got owned. Nothing to do about that.
Perhaps their Sentinel. It just depends on who wants to fight B main. And yet Turtle Troop's economy was actually pretty good into that round already, so they felt comfortable to hunt those weapons down, tracked them successfully, and now it's Blinn on full eco here.
Get out of my
Let's see if the Buccaneers can parlay with victory in this round. B-Dog with the knives. See inside that one way for the time being.
Got both Sentinels with eyes on B main right now. Maxed out potential control here. Corey's just keeping a watchful eye on mid. Blinn has already pushed all the way down, so.
We did see Mike try to play into beam. Are they going to go for it? Yeah. The timing! Okay, we'll take one. Be good enough for now. Oh, B-Dog doesn't see the player below him. Dashes up to Jen. Spaz gets butchered, though, by the knives. And Teague now on the wrong side of A main. Awkward for B-Dog, though. Oh, wow. Okay. Sees Monzy. Refresh the knives, but it's been messy stuff. Eventually, though, the Sentinels over here on this B side, or at least the one, get activated. They move on in, but Corey's not ready for Okeanos. Very low health Jet. Gets in the game. Silence is flush with this util, though.
The substitute has to step up in the 1v2. Very winnable. Both players extremely weak. Has a paranoia as well.
Takes the off angle here. This is a nasty one.
Cover going up.
0 point. No connection. Okeanos is going to have to double face now with the presence of that smoke. This is an easy spray down, though. Xilinx won't expect the second from Speedway, surely. He'll check it. Sees it. 6-man coming alive now. Taking a lot of incidental damage, though. He hears the drop. Can he win it out? Yes. Headshot to bring Teague down. Nice little Zippo clutch there from the sub.
Worrying for those Turtle Troop players, that were dead and relegated to watching. It got very scary for a moment, but successfully wasted enough time regardless to make that win happen. That kill from B-Dog, though, was essential. A crazy downwards flick to capitalize on that one. I mean, nice that he gets the Sova as well, because that could have been a situation of essential. That could have been a 4v2. That could have been a round lost on the eco for Turtle Troop, but they just barely clawed back. And now they've all stacked up outside of A. Okeanos has picked up the operator again, and once again is also trained down mid with the scope.
Our drone is just being used for A main, so Okeanos can maintain this line. It won't do him any good, though. Just spaz here at A. Okay, defensively, we're going to see the null command being used, but Okeanos just scampers up like Bambi into B-Dog's crosshairs, and T gets brought down. They tried to stop that hard hit. Blinn are definitely going to come off second best now. Mike does not have the timing. And now there's a big old wall in his way. Good luck getting through that one, Chief. It's going to be Monzy from heaven with the Odin.
They throw that
Does not have the recon to light anything up.
No, they throw that spike to Stellar so he can get the Hunter's Fury as well. Oh,
wow.
Mike getting shut down. Oh my god, B-Dog is looking crisp right now.
These are clean rounds from Turtle Troop. And we were, I guess, we were a little doubtful, I think, as far as the desk is concerned about the deadlock composition here, right? And it's kind of hard to see in some cases where the value is, because we don't really see like the sound sensor and the GraphNet find value. I guess they're more defensive options generally, but we do see that wall come up constantly in tree, right? Cut off that retake angle. You can break the door. So I guess even with the wall, in the way, you can still navigate the scenario as the defender trying to retake. This is unfortunate for Okeanos, though.
A really cool exec from Turtle Troop, realizing that they can take that aggressive line all the way through tree, push up into window. 2 times now, Operator had been invested, or rather Okeanos invested in the Operator, both times not able to find a pick. Mike has been sitting on the lockdown for a couple rounds, just hasn't been able to find a time to place it. Turtle Troop are looking really clean, and it's funny, when you look at this comp, you think it's just going to be sick on defense. We've actually barely gotten to see it on defense. In their 2 wins that they have against M80 and also against SAD, which were both 13-5s, they dominated on attack and only had to win a couple rounds on D to close the game out. So, I mean, they're just making this composition look so effective on the side where it looks like it would be less effective.
Yeah, and the wall's actually hard to use defensively. We've seen it from Loud on Lowe's, for example, where Sardak tries to deploy it when he knows there's like a raise double satcheling into a site, and he can like isolate the raise, but you have to time that really well. And there's no guarantee that you hit it, especially like Omen can TP past it, so
yeah,
we saw limited success from that.
Yeah, you're right. It's about finding that window to split the hit coming in 2, cut off players from each other, but Here on attack, it's when you're in those post plants and you throw it down and where time is working against the retakers and you're forcing them to waste valuable seconds to break it, where it can really come in clutch.
Throw in net.
All right. GrabNet was at least deployed there. Slow going. Slow going here for Turtle Troop. They do. Okay, so they have a lineup for a wall there over towards tree, and they've kept 3 players at A as a result of that. They're also going to light someone up when they push out of A main, potentially, with that sonic sensor. Here comes Turtle Troop, though. Mike desperately, hastily trying to deploy this utility. Gets caught on Speedway and takes a ton of damage. Already Turtle Troop onto the side. Monty now down to half as well. B-Dog, relentless, ravenous. And it's going to be Spaz holding on somehow with 2 Sheriff headshots. An opportunity for a third here, but it's not to be as Silence brings him down. Stella's gotten the cat amongst the pigeons, apparently, and forces Okeanos to let loose a kunai to get the kill. 2v1. Okeanos with knives out at the very least here, but he's expected, and Adder brings him down.
Aggressive from Stellar to play in the smoke, perhaps unnecessary, but Adder and Silence immediately work into a beautiful crossfire to ensure a round win in that 2 versus 1. Turtle Troop working the map there. Spaz tried his best. He committed his teleport to get all the way back B and made some serious value out of it by getting 2 Sheriff headshots. Evidently, these Blinn players are sick with the Sheriffs. There's already been 5 or 6 kills with them, with Okeanos and Spaz.
Revealing area.
Pretty outrageous.
And here again, same plan. Catch anyone that's trying to lurk up on them. They do expect something in wine, but there'll be a swing from there. Spaz comes out. It gets brought down. Everybody on Turtle Troop has read this perfectly. Same thing. This time the wall was a bit closer towards tree. Or rather towards grass, so it essentially denies much of this space. And it can also hold that angle now. And Blinn are not ready for this. They do have a lockdown. It's hard to see how they can find the real value here. Annihilation. That's dangerous. Adder holds it.
Reeling them in.
What is that lineup?
No way!
He is the god of deadlock. That is ridiculous.
I think Monty gets stuck there. So they escape. What? Sorry, did that ricochet?
What am I watching? It ricochets off the top, like as if you're trying to shoot like a shock dart down into sight from the opposite end on heaven. But it ricochets up into heaven to catch him. That is some crazy tech. I can't believe that. Adder is truly the deadlock GOAT. They have put so much effort into making this agent work. And when you have all of these micro plays that no one can be expecting, you think Blinn are out there scrimming against deadlocks doing this? You're just going to get caught by stuff like that constantly because you're never going to be prepared for it.
That's bizarre. Never seen that before.
I can't believe that. That is so funny.
And again, even if like... Okay, so it doesn't result in a kill, that annihilation, but it locks up one of Blinn's players mid-retake. Like, there's just nothing you can do about that at all. Absurd stuff. B-Dog in again. Oh, Turtle Troop now starting to get the wind in their sails a little bit. Buccaneers feeling jealous right now. Stella here playing from A main. Okeanos does get a pick and has to get off that angle. Has to flick to maybe repost up on it. And now that defender lockdown is going to be employed. They're going to fight for it, though, Turtle Troop. They're going to fight for tree. And they have to overload of players there as well, but Mike is going to be good for it. Holds his ground. Lockdown's going to go off here, and Stella gets caught on heaven. It's all gone wrong as Blinn finally get back into this game behind a big Killjoy ultimate.
Finally, Okeanos feeling grateful that he had an opportunity to fire his op at an enemy. Every other round he's had it, he has just picked the wrong side of the map. He's always been where Turtle Troop aren't. Finally, though, gets an opportunity, takes advantage of it, gets that first kill, and then just backs off. They play for retake off the lockdown. Clinical textbook situation. And Turtle Troop, they tried to play to their win con as well. Credit to them. They tried to rush tree, get the lockdown broken, get the kills there, fight aggressively. but Blinn were ready for it.
We go again. Another A hit here in the works for Turtle Troop. We have a Hunter's Fury for Blinn to lean on. And looks like that 0 point is catching on to at least 2 players. So more than enough reason for Turtle Troop to maybe offer something a little different.
And now with Okeanos posted up on that A line, they're actually still kind of favoring the A site, interestingly. Spaz is playing deep in wine, hoping to have a little bait set up where Okeanos would take a shot, dash off, and he would fight. But it's irrelevant because Turtle Troop, they fully rotated to B, and they're gonna get the site almost for free, but Mike goes in to get 1. That's bold of him to get back in the site.
They have an anchor still, though. It's gonna be awkward for Mike. But he holds his ground. It's beautiful. Look at the spray transfer. The guy is cracked. 4 kills for Mike, and it's Silence now with it all to do. Blinn have come alive over the last couple of rounds, getting a feel for this Turtle Troop squad. Now it's up to Silence. At least can be satisfied in the knowledge that Turtle Troop have accrued 6 attacking rounds. That is very, very solid. And with a chance to find more here, the Troop are definitely on high morale.
Win. Show me where to go.
Teague set up Mike and he knocked it down. That KO flash came over the top of sight at the perfect time to blind both of those players in lane. Yeah, look at that. I mean, Stellar just got out of the flash, had to try to adjust his crosshair. The Mike was just way too quick for him. Blinn's starting to win a couple gun rounds here. They had a 6-round drought since winning the pistol. But now they're getting back into this thing.
Get out of my way.
Knives are out. That, of course, is going to be B-Dog here, only bringing the Ghost into the round. Looking for some of that mid-control, which Monzi will be checking from spawn periodically. No presence at A for Turtle Troop. They really want to lean into this B side. But there's healthy amounts of Killjoy util here. Hunter's Fury as well that can assist now from spawn, and that's the plan for Monzi. Speculative again, though. Doesn't quite know where Turtle Troop is set up. B-Dog thought he'd find an opportunity to punish the less mobile Sova during that ultimate, but isn't able to get there. Okeanos playing close, is able to deal with that. Again, Mike can't make a repeat of that heroic attempt from the side, but has been anchoring fantastically anyway. B-Dog with the knives. That's 2. Now the 2v2. Teague can't get away. Corey brings him down, and Turtle Troop have more than salvaged this round. Now B-Dog can post up to watch a potential flank back through spawn, but he has to hope that his timing is going to be good enough to link up. He's made the right choice. He's going to see this. Spaz on the swing. B-Dog doesn't connect. But now he knows he has the critical information. He's waiting for that market peak. Teleport for Spaz here. Sound cue made. And he tentatively makes his way out over towards his B site. Smoke deployed, and that should be enough of a signal here for B-Dog to play off of, but he's playing safe. He'll come in as the other end of the pincer now. Spaz makes noise on the side. Here comes B-Dog. Operator in hand. It's so hard to find Corey, who just hid away and let B-Dog be the bait. Turtle Troop with a 7th attacking round here. That's a great sign.
So swift on the trade. And that's really been the story for so many of these round wins for Turtle Troop. They're playing off of each other really well. The swings are so fast to help each other in so many of these scrappy situations late into the rounds. And the one thing I'm looking at here is the fact that Mike has already gotten so many kills that he used his lockdown 2 rounds ago and has it back already to shut down a B hit. And it looks like he'll have an opportunity to plant it.
Turret takes contact, but B-Dog doesn't care. Monzi trying to sway him down through the smoke. B-Dog gets out with 35 HP and ends up trading himself. Mike. Okay, gets the lockdown down. That'll be fought for, but Silence is more concerned about the Killjoy and then can get rid of the lockdown. This is very unstable stuff here from Blinn. You can definitely see they're rattled. Okeanos forced off an angle. Otherwise, would have been a clean hit. He has to get out with a tailwind. And Turtle Troop see it all. They love playing at this pace wide. It suits them so well. And now they've locked Blinn out of the sight.
They found my wire.
Corey gonna push forward as well. He has a player on stairs. It's such a good post-plant setup.
Sorry.
Enemy remaining.
Okay, Silence is here though. 4 kills for the 6th man. That's a 10 out of 10 from me. Turtle Troop with 8 attacking rounds here against Blinn Esports. Showing that, again, a powerhouse team from that Challengers Group B is a cut above.
really excellent post-plant play. They are setting up for each other perfectly. And that, for me, is the main reason why they've taken this significant lead on the side of the map that is typically the worst. An 8-4, a fantastic start here. I'm looking to see what this deadlock is going to do now on defense, because we haven't really gotten to see a ton of it. They're going to let Corey set up over on B. He's got some kill trips, the cam up there as well. They're just going to divide these Sentinels across 2 different sites. Make it tough to take either.
Seattle trying to be reactive with the deployment of that wall. It's especially hard to break in these pistol rounds.
We'll see if he can cut them off here.
Okay, 0 point's going to make it impossible to deploy. Grab that, cheeky. Okeana slowed down. Got to give it a little bit of time for Turtle Troop to set themselves up, but it's a 2-for-1 trade. Spaz steps up onto the side confidently and brings B-Dog to heal.
Player standing.
That could have been something. Stella just for the 1, though. It's up to Corey, the man that for this team has had to do it all.
Mike and Spaz are so low on HP right now. He just got his cam back up as well. Might be able to get some info.
Camera. Big Brother's watching. Spaz is right behind him. Oh my goodness, Corey!
No! Oh,
That is ridiculous!
No. You've got
How is he whipped around like that? Oh, it's Washington Justice Corey all over again.
Delete.
Disgusting.
I mean, delete the VOD. For Spaz's sake, we simply have to remove the VOD from the history books. Oh,
That's not right.
No.
One enemy remaining.
That is illegal.
Oh,
That is not permitted.
no.
Forbidden.
Corey has been at the best that he's ever been on this Turtle Troop team. For my money, I have never seen this guy in such good form. He's playing 4 different roles at times for this squad. Sentinel, he plays Brimstone, he plays Raze, he's playing KO, he plays every role. He's played a million different agents. He's been able to frag on all of them. And it's not just Corey that we saw, years ago, where it was kind of a fully aim-based get kills style of play. He's a far more cerebral player. He's really got it all going for him right now. It's part of the reason that this Turtle Troop team has been able to really rise to the top. I mean, Turtle Troop take the time out here, but honestly, I think Blinn might have, they might be benefiting from that just a little bit. A cooler heads will prevail kind of situation for them.
I mean, you need the jaws of life to get my fist out of my monitor after that.
I mean, that should just never happen.
Okay. We are calm and we are collected. We are professional trying to do their job. Backing away there from that action is Turtle Troop. They don't opt to fight for AMA, but they have a significant amount of defensive architecture. Namely 2 sound sensors. Very kindly donated by Ada. See if that becomes relevant.
Yeah. This is a really cool setup from Turtle Troop. They have Corey pushed up B main with a Judge so they could just use all of their utility elsewhere from these Sentinels. Perfect timing on that grab net.
Oh, man. Spaz probably maybe had to play ahead of that. Paranoia wasn't an issue. Now B-Dog can fight a little bit here over towards Cubby. Wants to take on Okia. Nice. And well, with the backup of that extra player, Silence looking like bang the way he shuts down that A side on defense.
I'm excited to see how Turtle Troop are going to mix up the setups here going forward. Or if perhaps, maybe they'll just use a similar, because I saw Corey going to mid for a minute, but no, he's just going to leave that trip in mid to get some passive info, make sure that Blinn aren't working into a B split, and if they are, they'll find out when that trip is broken. And then they're putting 3 other trips to A main for Silex to anchor off of. For Blinn's sake, I hope they don't go towards A.
Yeah, in the kitchen sink there, just thrown at A main. Not very effective as defensive util, but really about the impact. Hey, grab that. Best be crouching, Okeanos. Still able to win the fight. You know, they say you have less spread when you spray crouched. That grab net just helped him.
You could just tell he was locked in when that hit him. He didn't care about taking that out at all. He was just ready to have the reaction time of his life when that player swung. Fully locked in, and now it's all going to be in the hands of Stellar backside. Corey's trying to get in a position to help, but the judge at this range will be essentially useless.
Okeanos gets in. There is the player anchored now inside Boathouse, but Stellar's already found one. I'm lit. Not a problem, baby. He does eventually lose out, though. Flying right click with the classic gets the job done. Fatigue.
Spike planted.
Silence.
Shadows traveling.
Has to play from behind this one way now. TP into his own smoke, the only option. Then eventually Spaz will be waiting for him. Nice couple of rounds that Blinn have managed to string together. They've avoided the site with all that defensive util from the double sentinel. They made good decisions. And they're only 5 rounds in here. A lot of more work to be done. In their first win in the half, though, has to feel good.
Sound sensor up.
No doubt. Heading into this round, Corey's going to be one away from that neural theft, but more importantly, B-Dog has picked up the op here. Going to have the light armor with it. See where he's going to post up and how the Sentinel utility will be set up around him. He's going to be walking up B main here. Trying to go pretty deep.
Gravnet here reveals nothing. This time, Blinn do not want to walk into a trap. With 2 sentinels on the map, either extremity could feature that kind of pitfall. So they play a little bit slower. Aldrone up mid here would have forced B-Dog off the line if he were holding it, but he's playing close contact in B main. And likely will be rewarded with a late kill, but not one that really cripples the overarching strategy of Blinn here.
Turtle Troop are gaining so much info. They have the op posted up B main. They have trips for A main, tree, which they're also watching. The cam in mid is about to spot these players out.
Blocking sight.
They're taking their time here. They might be thinking about ending B in lieu of any extra information, Wyatt. It's going to be Adder at least in a position to jump peek this. Okeanos was holding the angle. And Smoke, though.
Scary for
Going to make it
B-Dog.
impossible. He was so patient all round. He waited for that.
Left.
And he gets punished either way. Mike steps up. Biggest advantage goes a long way. Monty gets caught by that sound sensor and Adder is able to capitalize.
Bomb grenade.
Nanoswarm here to keep Adder out of the fight. Locked in CT for the time being, so full retake set up now here for Turtle Troop. They're going to go for it, though. I don't think they're going to waste any time. Well, now they're forced to. Fragment thrown out. Another delaying piece of util at the feet of Turtle Troop. But they go for it. Adder tries to step up. Little one-way action there for Okeanos. Teague able to capitalize off that too, but is going to be paranoid into next Tuesday. And lit by the recon bolt is Mike. A lot of info for Turtle Troop, but they've gone through all of that util. They have none left. Now it's smart wallbangs and pure contact plays. And that's where Okeanos seems to thrive. Corey and Stella try to come back on Speedway. They do double down.
One enemy remaining.
There's nothing to do here. Corey thought about hanging around, but instead Turtle Troop have to walk away, giving Blinn their second attacking round of the half.
Corey getting out B main so he could get the op that B-Dog dropped. Gonna throw that to him in the next round. Hopefully B-Dog can be the hero for Turtle Troop here. At least that's what their thought is going to be. And there's the handoff. Blinn starting to string some rounds together. They've forced Turtle Troop onto this eco. Okeanos is looking really good. And frankly, I have not seen much of Mike previously, but this guy looks goddamn cracked, Mitch. He is really good.
The B-side anchoring was very, very good. On a very difficult half in general for Blinn, he was a bright spot. Oh, B-Dog, that's audacious, and I'm not sure how Monty was not felled by that shot. Either way, they get a second lease on life. And probably will be an Aldrone to force B-Dog further off this angle. But for now, B-Dog will hold a very aggressive line. Monty just waiting on the timing here.
No charges left.
Here it comes. B-Dog forced to walk away.
Swing as he will. Oh my god, he is so fast. B-Dog is such a talented duelist. He's been hanging around in this top of tier 2 space for so long. Another guy in Challengers that I've always looked at and questioned, how has he not gotten a shot on a top tier team?
He's been in every like good mixed team as well.
Yeah, he's been so high quality for so long.
Okay, GravNet works. Monty simply detangles himself. Now the read is going over back towards B. A little bit lightly held here for Turtle Troop. Silenk's trying to get in position.
30 seconds
Oh,
left.
B-Dog is good for it though. Corey waiting on Monty there. Just sat in the corner. And Silenk is rewarded for his patience now. It's only Spaz, and all he can do is threaten a spike plant. Oh, pinged out by that. Couldn't quite find the recon. A devastating round for Blink here. Turtle Troop now go up to 11.
It all comes down to Corey saving that rifle in the previous from B main, tossing it over to B-Dog. How did it? I mean, I guess he just jiggled out of the way at the perfect second. At least that's what it looked like. Really just a haphazard attempt to get into market from those two players in mid. Just thinking they could cross without a smoke. Did they not have one available? I mean, with Okeanos dead, they didn't have a cloud burst, so they just prayed they wouldn't get shot on the cross, but that prayer was not answered. And now they're forced onto this bad buy, just a couple rounds away from losing map 1.
You should
Not
run.
a ton of util that could punish Okeanos here. Just that one tripwire that if they opted not to go speedway instead across the site, could be an issue for them. Hedwig goes for a scouting mission. Okay, they're on the site. Okeanos having to play closely with the knives. That's a pretty powerful position to be in. Full retake for Turtle Troop with no ultimates but the Omen one to lean on, which might be illuminating in terms of information, but outside of that, that's all they've got to work with. They're going to go for it, though. Yeah, very quickly. Spaz had to back away. Corey waiting at B main, but Okeanos having to trade out with the knives. Mike smoked out. There'll be some encroachment now from that CT side. The angle is very good for B-Dog, but they missed 2 shots in a row in Okeanos. And the latter is able to find another night kill over towards CT. They're running out of time, Turtle Troop. Options also very slim. They're going to call it.
I love how active Mike and Okeanos were there in B main and lane. Okeanos just having the understanding they get the help out of B-Dog's hands just barely. Though he'll have more than enough money to repurchase it in the next. But that play at lane and B main was great. Okeanos, knowing that Mike would need help there, so immediately picks up that angle, fights aggressively when attention is being put onto Mike after his B main peak. That was really, really well played from that
Sound
duo.
sensor up.
I mean, there's a reason those two guys are at the top of the scoreboard, both with 20-plus kills. The 2 top fragging players in the server over anyone on Turtle Troop.
Ridiculous.
That is mad.
Linda made this competitive now. Pretty clean hit on towards the A site. Nothing overly complicated, but making a good read, or at least getting lucky. But VALORANT is about putting yourself in a position to get lucky. Okeanos will be the first here to move up. He's just taking contact here. This is some real brass tacks for you folks.
And this time, Adder's set up both sonic sensors for lane, so if a B execute comes in, that's just going to bog them down at the choke.
Okeanos gets the post on this angle. Pretty powerful. Adder in danger. What a flick from Okeanos. Rips Adder. A new one. And yeah, we'll see a smoke here. A token effort to try and slow Blin's approach to this site down. But they're not going to be put off by that. Okeanos again at the 4. No tailwind available. But finds a timing and expects Stella to have gotten in the boathouse already. He's correct. Stella now getting ready to be pushed from 2 different angles. It's so hard to hold from here. Just 1 kill would have been good. It would have been enough. But even that's hard to come by in this situation. 3 up for Turtle Troop now. No late reflank potential at all. They're all set up towards spawn. They can't really get into market. And Corey has nothing to play off of. I think this is chalked as well.
Absolutely. Just time to save. Get the AWP out of there safely. If they lost this round, they would not be able to have an AWP in the next. I mean, they wouldn't be able to have rifles in the next. So they're just going to go for the percentage play, the smart decision for sure. And can we just reflect again on that shot from Okeanos? That was some disgusting activity peeking out of B main. Ridiculous. And Stellar feels like at that point he has to anchor the site to drag his team back into the round when they're down 4v5, try and get 2 kills, but he's just not able to do it. Absolutely overwhelmed. Blinn are making a real go at this.
I mean, this Turtle Troop economy is hanging by a thread. I mean, it's barely there. They had to save 3 guns in that round for the exact reason. And 2 rounds in a row, Blinn have walked up onto B. They literally just contacted the B side the previous round. Turtle Troop, I guess they're just giving up so much of the map that they are susceptible to this.
We saw B-Dog on a previous round be the hero when he carried over the AWP. And Turtle Troop are hoping he can do the same here. Though they have a better buy than that one. They've got a couple Vandals that they saved as well. And I would like to direct everyone's eyes to the status of Adder's ultimate. He has it. And I am looking forward to seeing where he's going to use it.
Here it is. Oh, he got another one. Hook and a bloody sinker, baby.
He had Mike stuck in the grab net and he couldn't help. I mean, this
blows.
is ridiculous.
The freest kill.
I just can't believe this. He gets it every time. I mean, Jesse Pinkman, he can't keep getting away with it.
Oh, man. Okeanos, though, very aggressive. Love this sort of taking of the initiative. Spike is going to get to A at the very least. Adder deals with the loose end. That's Mike over at B. Now Turtle Troop can concentrate their full remaining strength on this part of the map. Corey snuck through. Ooh. Yeah, you can't push ahead of that fragment there. He's still got Teague, but it's spray down through the cyber cage. Turtle Troop are back, baby. Off the back of another ridiculous Adder ultimate. I mean, you got to start putting some respect on this deadlock. I mean, a real good deadlock player can make it look incredible.
Absolutely. I've never seen a deadlock. I've not seen any deadlocks like Adder. He is one of a kind right now. Also, just the wherewithal to continue holding down that angle at B, knowing that Mike could certainly go for that repush, which is exactly what happened. So a second crucial pick from him in that round as well. And all that effort from Okeanos for not... I mean, the op shots he's hitting are just obscene.
All right. Match point here now for Turtle Troop. Flashy round. But to finish this game, they probably need to get it done the old-fashioned way. 0 point there over towards that A side of the map here, just so Blinn have some idea of how much or how many liberties that Turtle Troop are looking to take over there. It's the same approach. They're giving up so much of B. They have a cam at the very least. And it's the customary conditioning Al drone to force an operator angle for B-Dog.
And now just slowly working their way up B. They're going to try to explode into this site. There is so much Sentinel utility here, though.
Stella brought down through the smoke. Silence has so much on his plate right now, but he can at least play off this paranoia. Straight down Speedway could be huge. That is where all the attackers are right now. Takes a swing. A second. That's beautiful. Okeanos is lit. He knows what's coming, but he doesn't see the player on his far left. The flash pressure is too great. Stills even up the odds, and that's more than you could ask for the anchoring player solo on the site. And now Corey and co. can walk the road that he paved. Mike only good for one. Just a trade there at Logs. Teague in a 1v1. B-Dog with the knives, and we'll be able to finish the job. Making a macabre effigy of the KO. And giving Turtle Troop that win here on Ascent. But I'll be honest with you, Wyatt. After the way the first half went, I did not think it would be remotely this close.
Defenders
Definitely not. Respectable effort from Blinn in the second half there. And certainly massive credit to Okeanos with the operator. And Mike was fantastic. Those two look like a nasty duo. And watching them, you can definitely begin to understand how this team was able to run through the relegation tournament so clean, didn't drop a map, beat SAD the other day. They definitely have some sick talent. And that was Turtle Troop's map pick, so they're definitely not out of this game yet. We'll have to see if there's some more deadlock insanity that awaits us, personally. I hope there is.
That might be it, right?
It was so silly.
Unless they saw Loud, and wanted to bring it onto their Lotus game. But I think it was only this map and Sunset, which they switched off that. But I don't want to get don't get too ahead of ourselves. I think the desk have a lot to dive into right now. So we're going to hand it over to them after a short break. We'll be back with map number 2 here of Turtle Troop versus VCT Esports.
Face.